Nigeria's inflation to hit 28% by the end of the year, JP Morgan projects. Nigeria to witness increase in oil production on sustainable basis, says Minister of State, Oil, Petroleum Resources. Oil up on the expected U.S. oil stock drawdown, but China tempers gain. Asia markets, rise as 10-year U.S. Treasury yield hits 16-year high. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar. Well, let's begin the program with some energy news. Latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics reveals 215.95% increase in fuel prices between July 2022 and July 2023. That's what stated in the NVS Premium Motor Spirit Price Watch report for July 2023. The report notes that Nigerians paid 190 naira 1 kobo per litre for fuel in July 2022. Meanwhile, they paid an average of 600 naira 35 kobo per litre in July 2023. The report further stated that comparing prices from June 2023 and July 2023 showed that the average retail price increased by 9.99% from 545.83 naira. JP Morgan says Nigeria's headline inflation will continue to trend upwards as policy reforms feed through, and that it could reach 28% by the end of the year. The American leading investment bank states in its market research document on the Nigerian economy titled Reform Pause Rather Than Fatigue. It notes that the July high inflation reading is an early evidence of the impact of the fiscal and foreign exchange reforms, which will continue to push up the headline inflation in the coming months. The Minister of State, Oil, Petroleum Resources, Henike Lokpobiri, has assured that Nigeria will witness an increase in oil production on a sustainable basis in the nearest future. Lokpobiri gave the assurance in Abuja while addressing stakeholders on his assumption of duty, where he affirmed that he will spend more time on the field and also promised to work together with the stakeholders to boost oil production for the benefit of Nigerians.
Increase production, we have achieved nothing. And in order to achieve that, all of us must work together. You are the experts. We are ready to provide the leadership.
It is certain that harnessing Nigeria's proven gas reserve will stimulate the domestic economy. In addition, optimizing the domestic utilization of gas could support hundreds of thousands of job opportunities for the local economy.
As the new ministers assume office, our focus on the program for today will be on the oil and gas industry. Now, to begin the conversation on the potential in the oil and gas sector, what can be done to further make the sector more efficient and work for the growth and development of Nigeria? Is an oil and gas analyst, Bala Zaka. He joins us via Zoom from Lagos. Welcome to Business Express.
Thank you, and I greet our viewers and listeners across the globe.
Well, how's Lagos this morning?
Well, Lagos is fantastic. Like you know, Lagos is also a greater part of Nigeria. Okay. Everybody is in high spirit. Okay. People are expectant. The general feeling across Lagos is that now that supportive lieutenants have been appointed, they are going to help in practically actualizing and crystallizing the vision of Mr. President and the current leaders of Nigeria.
Okay, talking about the vision of Mr. President, let's delve into the subject matter. What are the expectations of the of Nigerians as the new ministers have assumed their roles?
Honestly, Nigerians are in high spirit because before now, we know that the global economy is generally not doing well. And we know that the Nigerian economy has also been down for a while. But the general belief is leaders can come from amongst us. I mean, economists, technocrats will always come from within Nigeria. And to that extent, it is just hope that all the supportive lieutenants this time around, the ministers and all those who we have handed over our economic, political, and social destinies will lead us in national interest. People are positive, and we have this belief that nobody knows it all. So for those who have been assigned portfolios, we believe that they will work in totality for the general benefit of Nigeria, because the continent of Africa is truly looking up to Nigeria to lead.
Okay, there's a new appointment of the Minister of State for Gas Resources with Nigeria's potential as a global gas reservoir. What does this portend for this sector?
Honestly, the appointment, first of all, the splitting of that energy, when we say fossil fuel, basically we're talking about gas and crude oil. The splitting of the two of the ministries, or the creation of two ministries, was a good news. It was received globally as something good news, you know, across the global oil and gas industry. What has happened to us, or some players in the industry, is we are going to see a boost and guarantee in energy security. We are going to see a boost and guarantee in economic security. And by extension, we are going to see a boost and guarantee in social security. So it is our hope that those who have been appointed, in fact, this is the way they should see it. They should see it as an opportunity given to them by their creator through Mr. President to make sure they support and we make Nigeria great. So they must not fail Mr. President. They must not fail Nigeria. They must not fail the continent of Africa. They must not fail the oil and gas industry. Because like everybody knows, proved gas reserve of Nigeria is already in excess of 200 trillion cubic feet. Then the potential gas reserve of Nigeria is in excess of 600 trillion cubic feet. And many people may not know, just like the way we have the crude oil cartel called Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries with headquarters in Vienna, Austria, there already exists, or there is already a gas cartel that is as strong as OPEC called Gas Exporting Countries Forum with headquarters in Doha, Qatar. So when you look at it, when you are talking about energy security, when you are talking about energy politics, whether from our local side right from the West African gas pipeline project, the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project, everything global energy security, Nigeria is a practical index. Nigeria is a player. Nigeria is a variable that you must not do away with. And that simply means any moment from now, we are likely to see a boost in LNG activities, which will be good for Nigeria. We are likely to see a boost in electricity generation because we can use natural gas to drive gas turbines and generate electricity. We are likely to see boost in food security and fertilizer because from natural gas you will get ammonia. From ammonia you will get urea. Then from urea you will get fertilizer. It is our hope and prayer that these Siamese twins will work together. Because at the end of the day, like we always say, whether you are talking about associated or non-associated gas, it is the same drilling that will take place. It's only the rheological properties of the mud that will be slightly different.
Okay,
but the
Balazaka,
production facilities will be the same.
You mentioned that we have huge potentials when it comes to gas. But the problem is, why are we not taking advantage of this?
To be honest, somehow, somewhere, one can be endowed with so much blessings, and that person or that entity may not know or may not know the volume of blessings that he or she has. But in the interest of Nigeria, Africa, and even the global humanity, it is now very clear that it is not the volume of natural gifts that you have that makes you great. But what you need also is, apart from God-given knowledge, you need to be careful. You need to harness your resources. Because when you look at it also, we have the population already. Yeah. We have the market. You can also ask the same question. Why is it that Nigeria is a great country, a populous country, but we have not been able to stamp out corruption? We've not been able to stamp out criminality. If you look at it from that, and we know that we don't lack we lack security agencies, but that.
Okay, go on. You were saying.
In the context of Nigeria, we have so much to gain. So the first thing, this is an advice for those that have been blessed by the Almighty and given this responsibility through Mr. President. They should see it as an opportunity. And like we said, whether you are drilling gas wells or you are drilling oil wells, see yourself as one, because we are talking about energy security here. The interagency rivalry that has affected the security agencies of Nigeria must never be allowed. See yourself still as one Siamese twins. That's the way. Because at any point in time, you can be moved from whether you are a drilling engineer, a reservoir engineer, an exploration geologist, a drilling accountant, a drilling lawyer, or whatever. See yourself as one. Work for the greater interest of Nigeria's energy security. Work for the greater interest that will make Nigeria to be seen as that darling that the global community is looking into. Like everybody knows, there is this plan to bring back the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project. And that simply means it is from Nigeria that gas will come, pass through North Africa, through Sub-Saharan Africa, through the Mediterranean Sea into Europe. Just imagine how important Nigeria is. So it is us that actually need to look inwards. And all I will tell also those that have been handed this responsibility is this. We already have a pool of knowledge to draw from. They can draw knowledge and support from the academia. We already have marginal and multinational companies. We have experienced Nigerians and we have friends of Nigerians. I think it's just a positive development. They must not fail Mr. President. They must not fail us as Nigerians. They must not fail the continent of Africa, and they must not fail the oil and gas industry.
Okay, Mr. Zaka, NIT says the gas sector needs an estimated $20 billion annually to breach the country's gas infrastructure. How do we go about this with the new ministers, with the new minister now assigned for gas specifically?
The first thing is they should see themselves, as I said, as a Siamese twin. The reason why I'm saying so is because when you talk about probably drilling for the gas wells, whether associated or non-associated, it's the same drilling rig you are going to use. The principle will be the same. You will only have slight changes in the equipment and probably what we call geological properties of the mud when bringing it out together. When you talk about infrastructures, you will always need infrastructures. Even, improve on infrastructures. Even if you build the best of houses today, in a maximum of 1 year, you may start changing or correcting things. Whether you buy the best equipment today, whether car or phone, you will still need to improve. But we can start with the existing structures and facilities that we have. There exist already pipelines. All we need now is, do we need to split them and have dedicated gas pipelines or dedicated oil lines? That is something that can be discussed. We need to look at certain things again, basic. Then if we need partners also, this time around, international or foreign direct investors must come and discuss on equal terms with us. And it is really true, because there is energy shortage. When you talk about some of the international continental political wars that we are seeing, everything is hinged on energy security. And you are either talking about crude oil or gas. And when you are even talking about energy transition, Nigeria is well positioned. When you are talking about compressed natural gas, Nigeria is positioned. So we shouldn't panic about the level of infrastructures that we have, but we must not allow them to decay further.
Now, how soon do we get to see the result from these ministers? How soon?
Well, the most important thing is this, like we said, they should take it slow and steady. One key thing they must never allow, like we said, they must not allow interagency or interministry rivalry, because that was what basically affected the security agents in Nigeria. Working together is the key. Then the next thing is this, like we said, when they start like this, there is already existing pool of knowledge to draw from. Like we said, even when you talk about the gas cartel, Nigeria is already a member of gas exporting countries forum with headquarters in Doha. Member nations exist, and there are great gas nations. So the way and manner, for example, Nigeria can be looking as lit as Qatar. Nigeria can have that fertilizer plant and other things. So they should take it easy. Nature is positively on the side of Nigeria. Investors are likely to come. All we need to do is to do something about social security. But we are already well positioned. In fact, the key thing is they must not allow rivalry to come in. They must see themselves, if you are in the gas ministry or the oil ministry, see yourself as somebody that can be moved across, whether as a lawyer or as an engineer or as a geologist or even as an economist or an administrator. They should see themselves as Siamese twins, having one parent called Nigeria, and having it at the back of their minds that we as Nigerians and the president of Nigeria is firmly and strongly behind them.
Well, I don't know. Then what do we expect, the public? What should the public expect from this particular new ministry, or ministries rather?
Okay, practically this is what I will expect. Like we said already, they've been given the responsibilities, and like I said, the pool of knowledge from the academia and the industry is there for them. Personally, for me, I will want to now start seeing, even starting with basic cooking gas, because till now people still use charcoal in the villages. So the price of cooking gas should come down. I will expect to see us boosting our LNG participation. That will bring in foreign currency into Nigeria. Then most importantly, honestly, internal domestication will still be the key. Whether people accept it or not, we must start internal refining on the crude oil side. We should have petrochemical industries. We also have the volume of market here. Even if it is only to serve Nigeria, the West African sub-region and the continent of Africa, we will generate so much revenue. So there are so many things we expect to see. We expect to see fertilizer plants. If fertilizer plants come in, the bag of fertilizer that used to cost 5,000 naira and now is 25,000 naira in my village, it will come down. When you have food security, then social security will improve. So we need to see practical crystallization, but we must never be fooled. We need to internally domesticate. Those who wish Nigeria well should come and invest here. If you want to build a refinery, come and partner with Nigerians. If you want to build a petrochemical plant, come and partner with Nigerians. If you want to build a fertilizer plant, come and partner with Nigeria. But it is also the duty of Nigeria and Nigerian leaders to provide an enabling environment, a friendly policy, and even what we call moratorium for investors to come in. But as I speak to you today, Nigeria is the darling of the global community in terms of energy security, and in terms of oil and gas politics, and in terms of oil and gas energy or security or political emancipation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bala Zaka. It's always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you, and congratulations to the new set of ministers. Please support Mr. President, support Nigeria, support the global oil and gas industry, and Nigeria will bounce back once again.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now moving on, oil prices were up in early trade on Tuesday ahead of data later expected to show a draw in U.S. crude oil and gasoline inventories, though persistent concerns over a slowdown in China's economy limited the upside. Brent crude was up 10 cents at $84.56 a barrel, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was traded 9 cents higher at $80.81 a barrel. WTI's contract with September expiry was up 11 cents at $80.23 a barrel. U.S. crude oil and gasoline inventories were expected to have fallen last week. A preliminary Reuters poll showed as the American Petroleum Institute Industry Group is due to release data later on Tuesday. Now, the new Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Anite, says the time has come for a more robust economy that will be enabled by a thriving macro, small and medium-scale enterprises, in addition to increased investment and jobs, while waiting for their turn to also have an executive session with the new minister. The Labour leaders in the ministry say the task ahead is that of ensuring better welfare, staff training, and ensuring the ministry stops being a tenant at the secretariat.
Industries that are already existing profit better. This is not the era for borrowing money alone. This is the era for investment. This is the era to open your doors, to attract investors. And a lot of people are out there looking for how to come into the country. It's our opportunity, it's our time to make that happen.
And now to capital market. The equities market reversed in the first weekday of trading on a bullish note. The all share index climbed 0.71% at 65,202.41 basis point. At the end of Monday trading on the Nigerian Exchange Group, a total of 231.5 million securities in 5,494 deals were traded at a market value of 3.9 billion naira. Monday's data shows 57% decline in volume, 58% decline in turnover, and 7% decline in deals. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Exchange Group appreciated to 35.5 trillion naira. To global market, Asia markets rise as 10-year U.S. Treasury yield hits 16-year high. Details with Ineka Oko.
Hello and welcome to the Global Market segment. Asia-Pacific markets are mostly up this Tuesday, even as yields of U.S. 10-year Treasury bonds hit levels not seen in over a decade. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 climbed 0.92%, extending its gains from Monday and closed at 31,856.71. The Shanghai Composite was also up 0.92%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index advanced 1.23%. European stock markets are higher Tuesday after posting cautious gains to start the week. The DAX is up 0.6%, UK's FTSE 0.2%, and the French CAC 0.45%. U.S. stock futures are trading slightly above the flat line this Tuesday morning as the Nasdaq Composite and the S&P 500 snapped a 4-day negative streak in what has been a losing month for all the major averages. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average topped just 6 points, while S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 were both marginally positive. And back home, it is a positive open for African markets, with South Africa's benchmark index up 0.12%, while Namibia's overall index is topping 0.16%. And that's Global Market Review. It's back to you, Musa.
Thank you, Nneka. This is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. Business Express returns Wednesday at 3 p.m. I'm Musa Abubakar, saying God bless Nigeria.